Hey everybody, Brian Troe coming to you from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing with your fly fishing forecast. The date for the day is Monday, the 31st of March. Man, spring is really here. And just noticed that my dogwood trees starting to have little buds coming on it. The red buds are starting to bud a little bit, and everything, and I mean everything, is covered in pollen. All right. So anyway, hopefully for those of you who have bad springtime allergies, you're not suffering too bad, but you got to get out there. You got to enjoy this spring weather. We've got rain coming through today. Had a huge downpour this morning. Woke me up at like 5:30. A huge downpour. We got rain coming a little bit this afternoon, a little bit later this week as well. So spring showers. Everything's looking awesome. The valley's looking really green. I got a chance to go do some trout fishing this week with my family. We were on spring break, so spring creeks were fishing really well. The mountain brook trout streams were good. They were good on days where it was warmer, and on some of those colder cold front days, they were a little bit tougher, but that's to be expected. That fishing is going to just become more and more consistent as we go through the next few weeks. All right, so let's start up in the mountains and talk about the mountain streams a little bit, because they're really the place right now where you're going to have your most success. And after a long winter and a long fall and a droughty summer of either laying off the brook trout or not fishing for them very much, now is your time to get out there and really enjoy those beautiful little gems up in the mountains. So lots of different bugs to talk about. Water temps are coming up. Water flows are really good right now. We could use a little bit of rain here and there. We're a little bit below average. In fact, I was hiking in the Blue Ridge last week, and there was a pretty sizable fire. We had a couple days last week with high fire danger. But we could use a little bit more rain, but the water flows are quite good right now. So get out there, take your nymphs with you. Nymph fishing in the morning is probably your best bet, getting down to the bottom. But even on the colder days last week, I was catching plenty of fish on the surface. You could probably do 2 or 3 to 1, meaning your odds are much better if you're nymph fishing. But if you're like me and you've waited for months to enjoy good topwater fishing, you'll suffer through those lulls to get a couple on top. Caddis are really popping all over the place. The little blackstones are hatching. They're all over the place. If you go and grab a rock and pull it up, a lot of those streams, they're creep crawling with mayfly nymphs all over the place. Okay, they're becoming very active and busy. Still have some quills hatching out there. First major hatches of Hendricksons and Cahills are going to be starting here in the next like 2 weeks, depending on where you are. Just like I've always said, further east, on the east slopes of the Blue Ridge, you're going to see those Cahills and those Hendricksons come first. Those are really the first like major consistent, almost every single day. You'll see them at the same time in the afternoon. The fish get really excited, really trained on the surface, okay? And then those are going to take us right into the March Browns, which are a little bit later in the month of April, depending on where you are. And that's a huge mayfly. And by the time the mid-April hits, y'all, it's just gangbusters on the surface, okay? So we went from March, early March, being a little bit of topwater here and there, late March, which we're in now, more consistent, and then by mid-April, it's just like don't even take a nymph. All right, take your dry flies, take your gink, take your powdered desiccant, and get out there and have a lot of fun. All right, these bugs, most of them that I'm mentioning, these caddis, these Hendricksons, Cahills, etc., we're starting to climb up the scale a little bit. They're getting a little bit bigger, so that's nice and civilized. You'll hopefully be able to thread those eyes a little better and be able to see that bug drifting down the surface a little better. You're looking at like size 14s for a lot of these, okay? So gone are the size 18 and 20 blue wing olive days. We've moved through those. We've moved through the size 16 and 18 quills, and now we're starting to fish size 14s and 16s, okay? And then tinker that, or you know, manipulate that a little bit based on the water flow of the day. For instance, if we get a lot of rain today and Thursday, and the run or the creek you're fishing is up and it's got big wave trains, you know, that are up and down, and it keeps drowning your fly, go a size bigger. Just put on a fly that's one size bigger than what you would normally fish, and grease it up really well, and hopefully that'll keep you from drowning your fly over and over again. So that's the name of the game in the mountains. It's really fun right now. It's really awesome. All these streams in the areas are fishing really well. I was up on the North River Upper last week. We were over on the Ty River, over by St. Mary's. All these streams are on fire. Really good reports coming in from the Conway and the Rose and the Rapidan. They're fishing quite well. And the Dry River is finally becoming much more consistent. You know, a lot of folks have been out there. Huge stream, one of the largest brook trout fisheries in the state, only about 15 minutes west of the shop here. And it's a little colder fishery than some of the others. And so it's a little bit, it lags behind, but now it's really starting to take off and fish quite well. So get out there and enjoy the brook trout fishing. It is perfect. All right, moving downhill, delayed harvests, okay? You got about 2 months to enjoy all the state's delayed harvests. You have April and you have May. They are the 2 best months for the DHs, okay? Because not only are they out there throwing some fish in, but they've also had fish put in the winter and fish put in the fall. You have these different groupings of trout, some that have really acclimated, keyed in on certain bugs and fought through a hard fall and winter to be there. And then you have some that they just threw in like yesterday. So anyway, it's kind of a hodgepodge of fish, which is why they'll eat a hodgepodge of things. Okay, you can throw al natural, you can throw the bugs of the day, the bugs that you find on the rocks. You'll probably do just fine with those. For some of the fish that were just introduced, you know, you can go dirty worms, you know, San Juan worms, squirmy worms. You can fish your egg patterns, okay? Always talk about egg in March and how important it is because everything is spawning. All your sculpins are spawning, all your fall fish are spawning, your suckers are spawning, your rainbow trout are spawning. So there's a lot of egg in the system. So that works always really well, especially on freshly stocked fish. Get out, enjoy those DHs. The state has been adding slowly but surely every 2 years. They're adding 2 or 3 more of these because the anglers are demanding it. They've got them spaced out pretty well across the state, so there shouldn't be one terribly far from where you live. And they're just a whole lot of fun to fish, and then come June, they're gonna get kept and cleaned out. So there will be no more until the fall. So you have 2 months to go out and find some good DH water and enjoy those as well. Tailwaters, Jackson, tailwaters fishing really well, along with some of our other larger freestone streams like South River, fishing really well. So get out there and enjoy that. Keep your eye on the gauges. If we get a couple of big shots of rain this week, a lot of those larger trout streams have gauges upstream or downstream of where you might be fishing, which will really help you out on your planning, you know, whether to drive there or not. You can always call us. All right, warm water fisheries. A lot of the guides have been out on the rivers, the warm rivers, the James and the Shenandoah recently, and all of them are fishing quite well. The water levels are good. Typically spin fishermen do a lot better this time of year just because the waters are deeper, the flows are heavier, and you've got, you know, the fish are kind of down. They're not doing smallmouth things like they will this summer where they'll swim like 30 feet after your fly. They got to work a little bit harder. They're trying to be efficient. They're trying to use their calories in a limited way because they haven't eaten very well all winter. The mature ones are looking to spawn soon. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. We're not there yet, but they're going to be staging soon. And so because of that, the spin fishermen usually do better because they can get down deeper with jigs and braid and everything else. But when the waters are lower, not too high like right now, fly fishermen can do pretty well. All right, you got to know where they are. You got to have heavier flies, your clawed edge, your critter mites, your near enough sculpins, your Mad Tom sculpins, and you got to have some split shot and or some sink tip lines. Or if you don't want to spend all that money on sink tip, we sell those Versa leaders. Those things are awesome. They're cheap. They get the job done. You reuse them, so 14 bucks, something like that, and you've got like a whole new system to attach to the end of your line. Those things work really well this time of year. So get out there and enjoy that. The muskie are gonna be like impossible to find for the next 4 to 5 weeks, okay? They've already gotten tough to find, which means a lot of them are going and pairing up and spawning. So we won't be targeting muskie because they're gonna be busy spawning, and they'll be even more elusive than they already are to begin with. So uncatchable, like a leprechaun, okay? So May is when that fishing really cranks back up, all right? But you can get out there and find some really nice largemouth and smallmouth bass this time of year. And also, like, it's the much overlooked bluegill. I love fishing for bluegill in the spring. We're about a month away from those guys getting up in the shallows and really nesting up. If you've got a youngster or a buddy who wants to learn how to fly fish, that is the species of choice. Wait till those bluegill are up in the shallows. They will catch one on every single cast in the lakes, ponds, and rivers all across the western part of the state. Those fish are gonna be eating like crazy, so lots of fun. All right, big news, open house, spring open house, always a blast, okay? This is kind of coincides with our anniversary each year, so I can't remember if it's 22 or 23 years, something like that. We've been in business now, it's been great. But we try and have this celebration every year. I smoke like 150 to 200 pounds of pork butt. We have all kinds of great sides. We have free drinks, free food, free beer. We'll have some featured tires here that'll be tying this weekend. So that'll be cool for those of you who want to come hone your tying skills or talk to a couple guys. Our guides will be here. So we'll be here to talk to you all about all the places to fish, techniques, things to do. We'll have some casting going on in the back. So Dr. Fly is usually here helping out people with their fly cast. We'll have our sales reps here, a whole bunch of them from different companies that you all love, to be able to ask them a lot of questions. You can complain about stuff to them, so that works really well, works out for us. And then most importantly, we're gonna have really big raffles and really big giveaways and sales on everything. So for those of you who live outside the area who haven't been to our open house before, you have to come. It's awesome. You can come for a couple hours, load up on protein, and then you can head out into the woods and go catch some brook trout for the afternoon. Makes for a great day. We'd love to see you all here in Harrisonburg this weekend. Details will be in the email, and you can always call in the shop or check us out on social media. We'll have all the information for you for the open house this coming weekend. All right, that's about it. Get out, enjoy the spring weather, enjoy the dry fly fishing, and I hope to see all of you all this coming Saturday. All right, take care.